What's up, everybody? Coach Ben here from Jiu-Jitsu Magazine, and I'm going to go over the breakdown for Fight to Win 154, which is not Friday. It's going to be Saturday, and it's a new venue in Philadelphia. That's to win is going to be at least for the next two cards. So just remember that this card is on Saturday. I think the fights are all roughly the same time. The main card is going to start roughly the same time, around like 8 p.m. Eastern or after 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, just remember that Saturday and not Friday. Okay, these lines hopefully will be released to Bet DSI. They should be out right now. It is a Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. So they should, if they're not out by tonight, they'll be out at the very latest in the morning, or hopefully by tonight, if they're not out now. Okay, so this card is, there's kind of some matchups here that are going to be a little bit lopsided, but I'll start from the bottom. Okay, so Juni Ocasio is a no-gi match for the title, facing Jose Carlos Lima. Juni is a big favorite, minus 365. I lined him this way because Juni has been on fire at Fight to Win. He's been hitting leg locks. He's not a no-gi, only competitor. He does gi as well, but I would say that no-gi is his specialty, and he's very good at leg locks. He's a very solid competitor under the Fight to Win rules, and I think that he will probably win this one via leg lock. And just the experience factor, I think, is going to be enough. Jose Carlos Lima, I don't know much about Jose, honestly. I had to, go and watch some of his matches, see his, match history. And, he's a good competitor, but I just don't think he has the experience, especially with the modern leg lock game that Juni has, to defend specifically leg locks, but also, kind of like the modern entries and certain things, especially with the Fight to Win rules. I think Juni, he's going to probably win this one by submission. All right, but you never know, right? So if you think that Jose has a good chance, maybe you know something that I don't, then plus 305 is a big underdog, But I'm going to pass on this one personally, betting. I just, I don't really bet juice that, over minus 300 unless it's somebody that is just, it's very unlikely they're gonna lose. Something like Gordon Ryan or like Gary Tonin, Gordon Ryan in like a sub-only Fight to Win rule set. There's just not many paths for their opponent to win. I think there is a path for Jose to win here, so I'm going to pass on that one. Next match, Nachielli taking on Maria. I don't know too much this one about Maria. I had to go and watch some of her matches as well, look at some of her wins and how she's competed in the past, and it's kind of the same. It's kind of like the same, right? All you really need to know is that Nachielli has beaten Gabby Garcia under Fight to Win rules. She's beaten Gabby Garcia under Fight to Win rules. That means that really she should never be an underdog to anybody, except maybe Gabby Garcia if they were to fight again. And even then, she has a win over Gabby Garcia. So, yeah, she's minus 400. This is another one where, I'm personally going to pass. But, if you have a big bankroll, I say this every week, if you have a big bankroll and you trust that, she's going to show up, on form, there could be value here on Nachielli. Again, you have to have a big bankroll, and, you'd be betting 400 for every 100 that you win. So yeah, it's pretty highly juiced. Yeah, I would consider betting Nachielli here, to be honest. Maria has, she has some good wins, but for the most part, she just may not be she might get outclassed, is what I'm saying. Again, anything can happen. This is, people still have to show up and perform. But as we know, a fighter that, is in a certain caliber, right, will usually win when it comes to jiu-jitsu. All right, next. John Blank taking on Emmanuel Hibamar. This is one of these matches where this is actually a very exciting match. I'm really looking forward to this one. And the reason is because John Blank is no-gi specialist. So John Blank, I would say, out of the 10th Planet system, he is probably number 1 or number 2, the best, the best, the best guy in the 10th Planet system. I would say pound for pound, he probably is the second best guy. It's Gio and him really, and Kyle Bain to a certain degree. So John Blank, we know what his game is like. He's going to basically look for leg lock entries. He's going to be on the bottom, and he's going to look to elevate Hibamar into leg lock positions. John also has a pretty nasty straight arm lock. He has the shotgun arm lock that he likes to do while inverting. If Hibamar gets too aggressive passing, I can see that happening. And John also has a pretty nasty guillotine. So he has a very, very, very good guillotine from just many positions. He hit one from off of an Uchimata in one of the matches that I watched tape on for this matchup. And also Hibamar is an IBJJF guy, which means that he does both gi and no gi. Okay, so when somebody does gi and no gi, they're splitting their time. And most of Hibamar's accomplishments are going to be in the gi. So this is one of these fights where I really think that Hibamar is the more experienced. You may even call him, the more accomplished competitor. But it's hard to make a guy who splits time between gi and no gi a favorite in a matchup against a no gi specialist who also is a specialist in leg locks, right? Because Hibamar just doesn't have like the experience with heel hooks and leg reaping that John Blank has. And I feel that if John enters into an inside Senkaku or a cross ashi position, saddle, whatever you want to call it, Hibamar is going to be in trouble. He has not had the experience in those positions that John Blank has, and this is a rule set that heavily favors the guy that's more into like the EBI rules, the sub only rules, because they reward submissions. Even if Hibamar was to pass John Blank's guard many times, if he's not able to rattle off submissions, there's no points scored, right? And I don't really see too many slams happening. So what I suspect is going to happen is that Hibamar is going to be fighting off John Blank's submissions while trying to pass, and John's going to be scoring, and there's a chance that he might catch Hibamar in a submission in those exchanges. And really, there's multiple paths to win for John there, right? He could win on points because he's gone for more submissions. He's the more submission-oriented guy, and Hibamar's the more points-oriented guy. And the other way he could win is just by catching a submission, and those are the two ways I see him winning. Hibamar, I just don't really know how he's going to win unless he completely dominates position. And John Blank is not easy to submit. He's really, if you look at his ADCC performances, he doesn't really tap out to people unless they're either superior leg lockers or they're great at taking the back or something like that. And that can happen, but I suspect that Hibamar is going to have a lot of trouble with John in this specific rule set. So there you have it. That's the breakdown. Betting wise, I'm. This is one of these matches where you just got to think if you're going to bet John Blank, you're really betting on the fact that he is not going to get his guard passed and just be stuck. And I don't. There's a likelihood that can happen. So this is a match where I would probably bet John Blank. I have to think about this a little more, but I can't bet Hibamar unless the odds rise a little bit, mainly because I just don't see a path for him to win. I don't see him rattling off more submissions than John, and also I don't see how he's going to finish John under this rule set. And it's 8 minutes. It's not a super long match where you can wear him down. So there you have it. If I was going to have to, people always ask me this every week. Every week somebody asks me, if you had to, gun to your head, what would you bet? Gun to my head, I would probably, if I had a big bankroll, I would bet Nacchielli. If I had a smaller bankroll, I didn't want to put a lot of juice, I would bet John Blank. So there you have it. All right. And also, I would probably put Junie in the same big bankroll bet category. You know, I'm not going to say that they're locks or anything, or they can't lose, but I mean, you know, Maria and Jose, they might not be the same caliber of competitor. And I'm not saying that, you know, disrespectfully. That's just, you know, anybody that steps in and they can, you know, but there's levels to this. All right. So that's it. Fight to Win 154 this Saturday. Flow Grappling. Check out Bet DSI. Bet DSI right now is the only place for grappling odds. Email them. Tell them you want higher limits. You want parlays. All that stuff. All right. Great. Thank you.